catch myself, help me out. Have my bed, then you let go. I'm fighting with that too. I'm standing alone, just like that. You left me cold. I guess at the end of the day, it's just me and my phone.
Welcome back to Queen's Mindset. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in season 4 of Battered Bruised Not Broken. Listen, I am super excited, guys, because yet again, we have another powerhouse to share her story with us. I can't wait to introduce her to you. But if you have not done it already, I want you to go right ahead and just hit that subscribe button down below and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you can be kept abreast. All right, so let's head right into it. Welcome, 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 Dr. Nikki. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Oh, I am blessed. I am blessed and so excited to have you here.
I am excited to be here, excited to see what's going to happen on the show. First of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to be a part of the vision that God has truly given you. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited. I've been thinking about it and praying about it all day, like, God, just show up. And I'm just here to see what he's going to do.
That is going to be phenomenal. I know everybody is at the edge of their seat because they're ready. You know, they're ready to hear your story. But before we get into your story, I want you to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Dr. Nikki Zeigler. I am the founder of the Herpreneur Network, which is an organization for Christian women in business and in ministry. And I am the coach's coach. I am a mentor. I am also the founder of the Life Christian College, which is an institute that allow you to get your public speaking, your life coach, business coach, master coach, grieving coach, branding coach, wedding planner, event manager. And so we help you to get certified. So many people making a little money because they don't have the certification. And so our job is to help you to tap into resources and help you to get your certification in those areas that I just spoke of. I am also the founder of the HBCU magazine, which is a magazine for those who either attended HBCU or even graduated from an HBCU. My husband and we're pastoring a church in Montgomery, Alabama called Destiny Word Christian Center, which is an amazing campus here in Alabama. And I'm just delighted to be here.
Wow, I mean, you said it you just flew it off your tongue just like that. There's so many things. How do you find the time to do all of that stuff?
It's all about balancing and setting boundaries.
I'm telling you.
It. No boundaries, you'll have some major issues. So I'm learning how to balance and set boundaries.
Yeah. Ladies, I hope you're taking notes. Balance is key. Balance is key. So, Dr. Nikki, you have a phenomenal story. And I know I've heard a little bit of your story, but we have some women here tonight that they're like, okay, what's your story? What's your story? So I want you to begin let's start from the beginning and let's begin to unpack that story. I want you to tell us about your story.
Well, Ashley, I am originally from Montgomery, Alabama. I am a pastor's daughter. My dad is a pastor in Montgomery, Alabama. The way I was raised, my mom did not play the radio, period, point blank, period. It is what it is. And so for me, my story all begins when I decided to be rebellious, when I decided to step out. And I've always been the child that did what I wanted to do. I'd never really been a follower like that. My mom will tell you if I did something, it's because I choose to do it, not because nobody made me. So when people talk about peer pressure, that is not me. In fact, I'm the one who led the pack. So I was the leader. And so for me, I just was curious. I always been the kind of person that wanted to do my own thing, be my own person. I never really was the kind of person that kicked it with everybody. I was the one who trailed the blaze for most people to follow behind me. And as I said earlier, you know, if something happened, if I'm in it, it's because I choose to be in it. And so I always said, if I'm gonna get in trouble, I'd rather get in trouble by myself than get in trouble with somebody else doing something. If I'm gonna get in trouble, it's gonna be on me. And so a lot of stuff I did was because I just wanted to learn things for myself. I was that hard-headed kid. I was the one, my mom says hot outside, I gotta go see if it's hot outside. So being that I was that person that it hurt me, it hindered me growing up. But in my latter years, this kind of years, it has blessed me. So in my growing up, as I began to go into this adulthood, I started dealing with boy issues. I started, being with people who did not compliment what my parents want me to be. I started dating people who my parents did not approve of. And I just didn't care. I just wanted to make mistakes. I just wanted to live life. And so I ended up getting involved with my middle daughter's dad. Come to find out he was a Jehovah's Witness. I didn't know it until I fell in love with him. And so I remember living in Birmingham. I was making like $75,000 a year working at Sprint PCS at the call center. And he moved in with me. We moved from Montgomery to Birmingham just to get away or whatever, because my parents did not want me to be with him. And so come to find out he was a Jehovah's Witness. He had this big box under the bed and told me I couldn't mess with it. Come to find out he was also still married. And so it was a lot of stuff that was going on that I just did not know. And so I ended up getting arrested. I ended up going to jail. I almost went to prison behind him because he had a felony on his record. Well, he had a felony. He actually was going to the military. But what happened was I ended up getting a felony on my record because he stole some computers. And I ended up signing for the computers because it was in my apartment. And the way Alabama law is made, if you are the owner of the apartment and you sign for something, you are responsible. I don't care who lived there. If your John Hancock is on there, and if you're the person's on the lease, you end up getting in trouble. And that's what happened with me. I ended up getting in trouble because of what he did. And I didn't know the computers were stolen. He ran off and joined the military, and he left me with a felony. And because I was left with a felony, life turned for the bad. I couldn't get a job. I had to raise my kids without a quality job. I didn't have no benefits. The little jobs I did get was like renting jobs. They didn't last long. I probably had about 100 jobs, because I couldn't. Back then, when you have a felony, it is hard for anybody to want to trust you or hire you. But it wasn't my fault. And I could have went to prison. What stopped me from going to prison was the favor of God. The person who was over the computer said, whoever did the order that he made said that it wasn't a female that ordered, it was a male. And so they still put the felony on my record because they said, because it was my apartment, I had something to do with it, which I honestly didn't. He stole it. And because he joined the military, they couldn't touch him because he belongs to Uncle Sam. And so all of the stuff hit me, and I couldn't get no job. I had to press my way. I had to start creating income for me and my kids. And we struggled up until I met a guy, getting married, getting married. And even that relationship, it was kind of rocky because he just wasn't a man. He was the kind of person who, he didn't know how to stand up to his mom. He didn't know how to stand up to people. And I felt as if he wasn't a real provider for me. I pretty much came up with all the ideas of him. Every job he had, I applied for it for him. Even the job he had before we got a divorce, they wanted to hire me for the job. I gave him the job because I wanted him to be the man. And I tell it, I'm gonna put a pin right there, ladies, stop trying to lead these men. They to lead themselves. And for me, I was just that go-getter. I was just the one that wanted to make it happen. I wanted us to be successful. And I felt in my heart, if he get a good job, then I get a good job, we could work together. So he ended up getting a job. He worked the job for about a year. And as soon as he got on his feet, he left me. I came home to an empty house. He cheated on me with another lady, and I'm getting married, and it was just a mess. And so my life has really been rocky. I've been homeless before. I've lost gain. I worked for a lot of plethora people who were high-end pastors around the world. At one point in time, I was making $30,000 a month. On the other time, I was making nothing. It just has been it's been a roller coaster world for me. And so God was so good. He allowed me 4 years ago to meet the love of my life. My husband changed my whole life, Kamisha. And ever since he been in my life, my whole life did a paradigm shift.
Wow.
That's why it's important to be connected to people who know kingdom. Yes. People who know to live on purpose with the purpose. And my husband, Dr. Jeremiah Zeigler, came and changed my whole life. And he helped me to see me. He taught me how to love myself. He taught me to be authentic in who you are. And he's a holy God. He's a kingdom God. So he's all about righteous. He's all about doing things God way.
Yeah.
Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, look forward and please God. He always tell me, if you please God, you'll please me. And so my life went from me living in my car being homeless to now living in an amazing home with my husband, co-pastoring a church together here in Alabama, and just being authentic and leading women to be trailblazers for the new generation. And
Wow.
that's my story all wrapped in one.
Wow. That's really that's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. So let's go back a bit, because you shared some stuff earlier when you talked about, you know, your middle daughter's father that you were with. You said that when he did what he did and you got the felony, he went into the military. But did he try to reach back and assist you, or no?
No. But the thing about it, he did come looking for me. And I was pregnant, and I did not tell him I was pregnant because I didn't want to have anything to do with him. So he thought I went pregnant. He went on with his life, and I had a whole baby in these streets. I just did not want to be. I felt like, you know, no. By the time he tried to find me, he already had went to the military. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was in there.
Yeah.
I'm up here. I'm out here trying to survive with my two, you know what I'm saying, pregnant with one baby, and had another one already that was one. So I was trying to survive. And when he did look for me. But I thank God, because you know, when everything hit the fan, I found like he was a witness. That's not equally yoked. Those are not my beliefs. So we have to make sure we don't just jump into these relationships without thinking and looking and seeing what is it that this person gonna bring to your life, because soul ties is real, sabotaging is real, and you'll get caught up in people who don't mean you no good, that's not gonna bring no value to your life, but be destructive. So I'm intentional in this season. I'm intentional in this season when I say to women that's watching me, ask God for permission to get into these relationships.
That's right. Listen, guys, I told you, make sure you are taking notes. Make sure you're taking notes, because these are some serious gems that Dr. Nikki is dropping. You want to make sure you have that conversation with God, because it's all about the divine connection. And God knows who that person is for you. So you shared, now we're talking on the topic of divine connection. You shared just now that you became homeless, and it's through that you were able to meet your husband. I want you to talk a little bit about how you were able to become homeless. What got you to that point?
What got me to the point is God had to get my attention. That's it. You know, when you know better, you get with many stripes.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that I didn't get God permission. So, you know, when you reap what you sow. So if you sowing bad things, you're gonna get bad things. So a lot of business ideas I did not get God permission. I did off of my emotions. I didn't say, God, can you lead me? I didn't say, God, well, what do you feel about this? I ain't say, God, nothing. I just felt good about it. The idea came in my head, and I just tried to implement what I thought I could do. But when you don't get God permission, it comes with turmoil. It comes with issues. It comes with connected to wrong people who don't mean you no good. And so I eventually got connected to a lady who was, I lost my apartment, and then I ended up moving in with a young girl who was actually a witch. And I didn't even know that she was a witch. Yes, she believed in voodoo, she believed in black magic, and I didn't even know it. And so God ended up getting me out of her house. I ended up going home for the weekend to celebrate my dad's past anniversary, and bumped into my husband. Now, the weird thing about my husband is that I knew him. I have been knowing my husband for 20 years, but he was my dad's friend. So I was like, I'm friend. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And so he was just a fresh breath of new air for me. He was so motivational. He was so concerned. You know, he asked about me and my kids. And so before we said I do, my husband actually put me in a house. You know, he put me in this nice house with a pool in the back. Like, he really showed me that he's a ride or die. And I didn't pursue him. He pursued me. And that's another pin.
That's the key.
Stop chasing.
That's right.
Chasing. Let them pursue you. One thing about a man, he don't like a woman who's running behind him. He likes to be the chaser. And I love him chasing me. I love how he approached me. I love how he took care of me and my children. And so we're living a life, you know, we're living a happy life. I have never been this happy in my whole entire life. I am so free. I am so authentic now. I can tell my story and not worry about who's going to judge me. Are they going to cover my, remind me of my past? You know, I am so over people. God delivered me from people last year. I was so caught up in, they going to remember what I did. God said, no, you asked me for forgiveness. I have removed that spirit of whatever you was talking with, and I am your source. Don't worry about what they say. Worry about what I say in you.
That's right.
That's what I'm doing now.
Wow. That's, that's really impressive. And that speaks a lot about his character and who he is as a person, because for someone to just meet you and just automatically just, fall in love with your children, provide for you in such a way, and you had no ties to him, nothing. It's like he just wanted to do it just because.
I didn't even have a bed. I didn't have no clothes. When I met my husband, I didn't have nothing. I didn't have a car. My car was wrecked. It was gone. I didn't have nothing when I met my husband. I have nothing. I didn't have a pot to piss in. I have nothing. And he took care of me and my kids. He paid all the bills. I mean, he just was a knight. He literally was a real knight in shining armor. And it wasn't even about sex. Like for him, he just wanted to see me happy. And I wanted to see him happy. He told everybody, we have our couples thing. We do a big couples retreat. He told the people, he said, what attracted me to her was her brain, her mind, because I'm a branding coach. He had just lost his wife. She had died from cancer. And he needed me to come and help him with his church, to brand his church, not knowing that I was going to brand the church. Now I'm pastoring.
Wow. Look at God. Look at God.
I never thought I'd be this church. I'm here now. Like, this is my church. So it's like, how do you, he asked me, so I need a logo. I got him a logo. He said, I need pictures. I did his first photo shoot. I did it all for him, not knowing that I was going to marry this man. So we met in July. We got engaged in September, got married in January, literally.
Oh, wow. Wow. Suddenly.
They know. They know. They know
Yeah.
if you're their wife. So here's another pen. For those listening to me. If you don't been with him 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20, 50 years and he ain't married you yet, babe, listen. If he loves you, he will marry you. If he loves you, he will fight for you. If he loves you, he will show you that he's the one. It's not your job to show him that you're the one. We got it all wrong. We're so trying to be that. I'm gonna show him he need to be with me, babe. No. It should be the opposite way. And for me and my husband, it was the total opposite. He showed me that I was so important to him.
Yes.
He wanted to see me happy, and he wanted me to be a part of his world. One thing we always say is we all we got. Like me and him have hit a pact where it's me and him. Our kids gonna be grown, going about their business. And it's still gonna be me and my man. So I want to let him know that.
And so what did that do for your children? Because I mean, having him come in like the knight in shining armor, I'm sure that for them, they felt away. So what were their thoughts about him when they first met him?
Well, remember I told you, like my family already knew him.
Yeah.
But my kids now my little babies, they weren't familiar with him, but my older kids, they've seen him at my dad's church passing through. So they really wasn't tripping. Him and my middle daughter, the one who had the crazy that. She and him are extremely close. She got married a month ago. He walked her down halfway down the aisle.
Wow.
My other kids, that's their dad. They don't know no other dad but him. And so they're 9 and 7. When I met them, one was going to kindergarten, the other was going to preschool. And so that's all they know is dad. They love their dad. I don't interfere with that. They have their time together. I have my time with them. And, and then I also have a bonus daughter. I don't call her bonus, my child. I have a daughter named Grace. And so Grace and I are close. We have a great relationship. We're still building. Her mom, she's still, grieving after her mom passed away.
Yeah.
But I don't want nobody to come in and just take my mom's place. So we're in the process now of still, just we have our good days. We have our crazy days, but we have more good days than crazy days. So she's a good child.
Yeah. You see, one of the things that as you share that keeps coming to me, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, train up the child in the way he shall go. When he's old, he shall not depart from it. And you came up in the church. You said that was a pastor. So look at how God just redesigned and just shifted some things around. Because when you are planted or you're positioned for something, it must come to pass. No matter what is happening, no matter what happened, God's plan would always be secure. It will always be sure. And he always had this plan for you. It's such amazing. And I think that you had to walk, like you said, you had to walk it out this way, because now you can attract those women who were where you were. So when you talk to them now, they don't get to point fingers and say, oh, you just giving us a pretty speech. You can say, no, I've lived the life. You got the scars to show. So I think you ladies, you really need to be sitting close and taking notes, because this is really, really, really good. So as you went through this process, what is can you tell us one thing that you can say that you really learned, from this? If there's one thing you can say.
The one thing I can say out of everything, Kamisha, is asking God for permission. That's like the ultimate for me. Seeking God first. Yeah. Because a lot of mistakes that I made, I didn't seek him first. So really asking him, God, should I go this place? Should I do this business? Should I talk to this person? Should I engage? Should I be in this entanglement? Like, ask God for permission. God says, seek him first in everything he do, and he'll direct our path. And I will tell you, I was not being directed by God. I was being directed by me. And I suffered and I struggled because of my ability to not put him first in all that he is asking me to do. And so I do more repentance now than anything, Commissioner. I'm constantly repenting every day. Like, when I think about something I did in my past, if it come back up to me, I'm like, man, I repent from that, God. Yeah. I repent, God. Like, I'm very humble to repent now. Well, before then I wasn't. I was like, well, I made a mistake. Oh, well, I'll try it again. Now I'd be like, Lord, please forgive me, Jesus. Please forgive me. And if I think about something I did in my day, or something remind me of something I did in my past, I'm quick to say, Lord, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for hurting you, God. I'm sorry for, you know what I'm saying? I tell him I love him, because if it weren't for him, I don't know where I'd be. Like, I have this great life. I really do. I'm so happy. And it's not fake love. You know what I'm saying? You know how people they love because they're trying to do church together. My husband and I, we really do love each other. I adore him so much. And he really looks out for me. If something happened, I know he's coming. It feels good to know that your husband's coming to help. He will never let me drown. He's going to always pick me up. He's going to always make sure me and my kids are straight. I don't care what he has to do. And he sacrificed so much just to see me smile.
That's amazing. That's really amazing, guys. So here you have it, guys. The knight and charmer does exist. I know sometimes people say it's just a fairy tale, but no, it's true. There's some really, really great guys out there. You just have to ask God's permission, like Dr. Nikki said, and let him lead you so that you can connect. So Dr. Nikki, so now you've met this amazing, phenomenal man, and he marries you off and you guys start doing ministry together. At what point did you started to change your trajectory in terms of your vision and your focus for your life? Because I remember you said you were doing some other jobs, in and out jobs, and you were always great. But what made you channel yourself to start up your university, to start doing everything that you're doing?
I'm gonna try to tell you this without crying. I am gonna do this because it's so dear to my heart. So one day I was at home. I had just became a pastor's wife and had been a year into it. And mine has only been 4 years, guys. So we just turned 4 years. Me and him just made up.
Congratulations!
About 3 weeks ago. So we still like, it's happening. And so I was in the middle of my bed eating some ice cream, and I went online because a first lady had passed away. And I was like, oh, wow. And she was an amazing person. And so I went to her funeral online because, it's COVID.
Yeah.
So I watched her funeral and I was just like, oh, my God, look at and I'm pink. I'm a pink girl. You probably can tell everything's pink. I like it's pink. I was like, oh, her wedding, her funeral is so beautiful. And I was just like, I wonder who would speak on my behalf. What would they say about me? And so when I said that, something said a lot of bad things.
Wow.
Because you did a lot of things wrong. You hurt a lot of people. You disappointed a lot of people. You just ain't right. So I was just like, oh my God, my life. And so I told God, I said, I don't want to live like this. No, I want to be a light to people.
Yes.
I want people to come to my funeral and give me flowers and shower me with all, what kind of impact have I been? He said, not a good one.
Wow.
Because you allow greed to come in because you're so busy trying to be greedy and get bills paid. You did get my permission. You did what you want to do. Your motive is wrong. God just kind of gave me like a, how you watch a movie and it's like Scrooge, and then he show you your past, your future, and it was kind of like an epitome like that. Like this is ain't nobody gonna be at your funeral.
Wow.
You have burned so many bridges. Like God, it's like an epitome just kind of happened in my bedroom. Kamisha, I had to look at my life and I was just like, oh, I did that too. Ooh.
Wow.
And God said, but I'll give you a second chance.
Wow.
And ever since then, I have been just trying my best to be a light for people. Like, if I come into a room, I'm gonna love on you.
Yes.
I'm gonna love on you. I'm gonna show you that you are loved, and you don't have to, you don't have to do people wrong. You can make sure that you be a light for people. You can draw people to your light and shine and point people to him, not yourself. And I had to regroup, I had to redevelop, and that's how the network was birthed. It was like, you're gonna do this network, you're going to do it intentionally to set people free. You're not going to hold back. You're going to tell your story. You're going to be authentic, and you're going to be real, because it's people out here that need a Dr. Nikki in your life.
Yes.
To tell them, baby, don't go down that road, because down that road is a man that's going to mistreat you. Don't go down that road right there. Don't put your trust in this person. Put your trust in God. Don't put your trust in your own emotion. Put your trust in God. And so God took me to what's in your dash. When you die, you know when you got here, but you don't know when you're gonna die. So you got that little thing right there. What you doing with that right there? That little thing is about this big. What you doing with that right there? Right here. And what are people gonna say about you? Are they gonna say she was a God-fearing woman, or is they gonna say she played around and she manipulated, she cheated, she lied, she did? What are they gonna say with your name? Your name is all you have. And I had to rebuild my name. I had to go and apologize to people who I deliberately did wrong to, Kamisha. I had to go and apologize to people who I didn't even know I did wrong. I had to fix it so God's name can be glorified through me. So when they see Jesus, they see Dr. Nikki. When they see Jesus, they know she's trying. She might not be perfect, but she's trying, and her past will not define her future. And that's what changed my life. I refuse to die and go to hell. I am not going to die and go to hell. I've been through enough hell already. So when I die and I close my eyes and I become cold, guess what? I'm going to heaven. Another thing that God showed me, my aunt passed away a couple of years ago, and I went to her her, you want to see her body or the viewing, and she was so cold. God said, this is how I want you to be in me. You don't move your hands without me. You don't move your feet without me. You don't move your head without me. You get my permission for everything. And if you seek me first, I'm going to make sure you and your family is financially situated. I'm going to make sure that you're going to be covered. And until this day, nothing has been turned off. All of our bills have been paid. Everything has just been in the alignment. The Herpreneur Network has grown. You came in the room. It has grown. Things are happening for us. And one thing I had to learn was I had to learn how to collaborate. I can't do it all by myself. It has to take a team, and someone has to lead.
Yeah.
That's what changed my life.
Wow, that's just so powerful. That's really powerful. And I love when you said that you had to learn to collaborate, because, most times, especially as women, it's always a competition. And instead of coming together, and we can conquer so much more together than trying to do it first. because it's been a race to get there first. And I love that you said that. So to those women who are watching us tonight, I want you to remember that you can't do it alone, and it's okay to have help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. And coming together is the building so you can conquer. That's what it's about. Because if one win, all win. So that's just so powerful. So tell us, how did the university then got started, and when did you started making moves and stuff? Tell us about that.
So I have been a life coach forever, right? I've been coaching forever, and I've always been that two girl. Let me call her, because I always been the plug, as they say. You the plug. Okay, I got it. So I had already had get my certification. I had already had gotten my certification as a life coach, and so I got my certification from John Maxwell, and it was just so expensive. And so I wanted to start a school that would allow people like me who was, single parent or just don't have the funds like this to start a school where they could get that certification and I could train them on how to brand them as a coach. And I did it. And so for me, I only had $40. Only had $40 in a logo. I wrote my own curriculum. One curriculum. I ain't have all the other coaching stuff I just talked about, the public speaking on that. I took that one curriculum and I blew it up. And I actually graduated my first 6 months, like maybe 60 students. I took that money and bought more curriculums and curriculums and curriculum. And I built the school up off of a $40 money. Yeah.
Wow. Another gem, just start. Most times we want to get everything together, just start. Whatever you have is enough. And God is, because once God is in it, it's going to work out. It's going to work out and it's going to blossom.
So we graduated roughly about 300 of my people since the school started in 2-3 years. Yeah, about 3 years.
Wow, that's major. That's major. That's major. Look at God. Look at God. Realignment, realignment. Wow. So, that you had gone over and you go through all this and you're doing so many great things. And like you said just now, having sat there and, watching the funeral online and, you had this epiphany, that you need to get things in order. Did you spend some time then to go through and say, okay, because I know you said you had to forgive some people, but how was that process for you in terms of forgiving? Because we know forgiveness is not easy. It's good, but it's not easy. But how were you able to do that?
Well, when he showed me, after watching the funeral, when he showed me, how can I not forgive them? I'm not perfect. So the forgiveness process probably already had started before all this. He already had probably put some stuff. My husband always in my ear anyway. But so it was kind of easy for me to forgive some people because His grace is sufficient. If he did it for me, and I had jacked up some stuff, I had to keep that same grace to other people. And I tell people when they think about the word forgiveness, they always say, well, I can't, it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Forgiveness covers you. It don't cover the people.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, it's good to forgive them, make them feel good that you forgive them, but the process starts with yourself and it starts within your heart. So if you're easy to forgive people, God can easily build your heart up and give you favor with other people. So it was a process. It wasn't easy at first, but as time got on, I just began to just say, you know what, it ain't even worth it. Hey girl, how you doing? Let's do this together. Or hey girl, let's keep moving. I had to learn how to get out of my own way.
Yeah. And what about forgiveness for yourself? Because I'm thinking that, you came into that position of becoming pastors almost immediately, in that role. And I'm sure that, and I'm just thinking like, how most average women are, having seen all the other pastors' wives doing it like flawless from the outside. You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. That at any time, did you question yourself to say, oh my God, I don't think I'm worthy enough because of my past? And how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still overcoming. That's something that's a process. I am still becoming. I'm still processing this thing because it's still new. It's 4 years.
Yeah.
So for me, I just, my mom is a pastor's wife. My sister-in-law is a pastor's wife. I just knew what I didn't want. I saw how they was treated. I saw what they did wrong and right. And I was just like, I'm not going to be the woman that wore the big hats in church like my mom did. Just certain people that I have been, because I work for pastors. So I saw so much. And I said to myself, if I'm going to do this, this is what I'm going to do. I want to be able to embrace women. You know, my husband, he helped me out a whole lot.
Mhm.
Our first date, he gave me the password to his phone.
Wow.
And he did that because the spirit side of him knew that I had trust issues.
Wow.
So that kind of helped me to not have to like, I'm gonna see if he's gonna cheat on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can he go in his office with a woman? Do I
Yeah.
have to be at the door trying to see what she's saying?
Yeah.
You know, your trust ain't in the woman.
Say him.
Your trust is in your husband.
That's right.
Your trust is in the God in the husband.
Yeah.
That's why it's important that you marry a godly man
Mm-hmm.
and not some man that you're trying to get him saved and set free.
That's right.
Because if he's a godly man, then he will know how to handle his wife. And I wouldn't have to go to the woman, I'm going to him.
That's right.
And so as a wife, as a pastor's wife, I decided I was not going to be up here watching these little never-had women.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to focus my heart into my husband. And if he decided to cheat, that's between him and the good Lord. I was going to be an example that he needed me to be.
Wow. Ladies, I'm telling you, take notes, because this is good. This is really, 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 really good. So, I mean, I like what you said about, putting your trust in him and not putting your trust in, not worried about the woman, but putting your trust in him. Because most times we can get sidetracked and, we go off on tangents, pursuing a woman that has nothing to do with that. So that's a key thing to learn. And I like how he was, with wisdom, that he was led by the Spirit to know, listen, I know what I'm dealing with here. That just talks about the type of character that, that he has. So that's really amazing. You have been blessed. Dr. Nikki, you are blessed. You are blessed. So I want to ask, because we're getting very close to the end, but there are just a few more questions that I have. And one of them being, saying that you have been through all of this, but God turned it around. But before you got to the point of the turn, at any point, did you feel like giving up?
Yes, so I did. I've tried to commit suicide a couple times.
Wow.
The first time I tried to commit suicide was second time is when my first husband cheated. When I got home, everything was gone. And I went into my garage to crank my car up and kill myself. And my brother came and got me out of the car. So that was the second time. First time is when I was younger. Third time is when I lost the apartment right before I met my husband. I was a member of William Murphy's church. Wow. And I remember coming, my kids was with me, we was living in our car, we had just moved in with this witch. And Bishop William Murphy said, is somebody here right now? You are at this church. God said, go home. God said, go home. And I knew he was talking about me, but I didn't want to go home. That means I failed again. I moved to Atlanta 4 times. And every time I moved, my mom would say, well, I wonder how long you're going to be there. She'll be mad. Why are you moving? That's stupid. Everything I did was just a problem. Yeah. And so by that time, things had kind of built up on me. I'm like, man, things are never going to get up with me. It's like time I turn left, boom. Time I turn right, boom. Every time I go forward, boom. It was like on stop. Just, we got evicted. Our stuff got put outside. People laughed. They took our stuff. It just, one thing out of another. Wow. I'm just so tired. I was like, well, Kanaya's older. She'll be okay. Caleb, Chloe, my mom, my dad to get them. And I just had kind of like planned out what I'm going to do. And so I went back to church that next day. And the next following Sunday, Bishop was still talking about walking into your purpose and getting into the will of God. And so he sung the song called Stronger Than I Ever Been Before. Wow. I don't know if you remember the song. It's on Contagious on William Murphy's CD called Stronger. And that song got me out of some things because I wanted to give up and I wanted to kill myself so many times. And I just was just like, why do God keep making me suffer? And God said, because you won't listen. Wow. You got to stop talking and listen. Some of us, the reason why you don't hear from God, because you talk so much. You're not taking out the time and waiting in silence. Yeah. He want to talk to you. But you won't wait. You want to rush things. You want this microwave life. You want God to just, give you everything you're asking for, but you need to tell God, give you what you need or what He wants you to have. And so once I came home, I was wanting to go back. That's when I met my husband, and everything shifted for me, and I didn't go back. Lost everything, and my life just changed. God said the reason why I had to lose everything because I wanted to make you regain. I want you to get it this time.
Yes.
The right way, because when you get it the right way, it lasts.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
And so my husband gave me his truck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, brand new truck. And I had that. He told me, when I didn't have a car, he gave me his truck. He told me that when you're ready to get your own, whatever you want, give me back my truck. And that's what I did. I had his truck for 2 years. And I ended up, I built up my money, bought me not my dream. It was, it was my dream truck. Now I want something else. But I bought my Infinity truck, my big body Infinity truck. And it was just a dream come true to buy my own in my own name. Just my own stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I gave him back, I got his truck fixed up. I got it cleaned. I put a tank full of gas in and gave him back his keys.
Yes.
And I've been riding ever since.
Wow.
I went from making zero to last year I did over 275,000.
Wow, that's amazing. That's God. Wow. That's amazing. I hope you guys are pumped because this is one of those stories that make you go like, okay, I can do this. Because yes, I can do this because this is amazing. Look at where she was and where God took her to. That means that it's possible for you. You don't have to give up now. So if right now you are watching and you can relate to so many things that she has shared, you've been in that space right now, this is hope. She is giving you hope that you can come through this. So don't give up, because if you give up, you're going to miss that mark. You're going to miss that finish line. And we don't want you to give up. So I have to ask this final question. And that is, being through everything that you've gone through, is there anything that you would have done differently?
I wish I could have met my husband sooner.
Oh, yes.
I wish we could have shared, kids together. My husband is old, so this is the deal. My husband is 20 years older than me. He's an older guy. He's a seasoned guy. So, but what I would have did different, I would have stayed in school. I did finish school. I got up to a PhD. So I have a PhD. That, Dr. Nikki.
Wow.
But a lot of stuff, I just wish I could have just slowed down. Just slow down. Being so fast, just moving so fast. Time some pop out, you ready to do it. Like, sit down and think this through. I didn't think it through. I just was so I did most of my life on my emotions. I was a very emotional child. Even growing up, my uncle actually molested me when I was a little girl.
Oh, wow.
So everything was just so emotional. I think it started then. Everything was just so emotional. So I will change the way I feel.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. And you said something there, having to deal with that at such a young age, that's a lot. That's a lot. And then who can I turn to? Who will trust me? All of these questions,
Never told me, well, you weren't approachable.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I just didn't, and even when I did told what he did, everybody came for me. You lying.
Nobody believed you.
No one to this day, they don't believe me. And I don't care. I know what happened. So I don't worry about what they say. I worry about what God said. I know he was my first. My uncle was my first.
Wow. That's wow. And was it easy for you to forgive him? One of us say easy, but how long? Because of course, nothing like that can be easy. But how long did it take you to forgive him?
What happened was, I went through a season in my life where I blocked and buried it. So as the years went by, and I will see people talk about certain things, I'll be like, do that. Wait a minute. I remember. Oh my God! Like,
wow.
As older I got, I started burying it in my head, like, don't.
Yeah.
And then as people who was getting up around me began to testify from different things they had went through, molestation and abuse, I was like, I remember my uncle touching me. I remember him I remember that. I remember this. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And I like that you said that, because most times, because of how traumatic it is, that's like the go-to thing that most people do. They tend to bury it, because if I don't talk about it, somewhat I feel as though it never happened. That's a good way to hide it. But tonight I want to encourage you that if you've been there, if you've experienced that, talk about it. And just like Dr. Nikki said, even if you say it to your family members and they don't believe you, that's fine. But make sure that you get the counseling, make sure you get that help that you need, so that you can be the healthiest. You don't hold on to that and allow that to block or stop you from getting to your level of greatness, because greatness is in the inside of you, and we don't want that process to be hindered at all. So guys, we have really been enjoying it here, and we're getting ready to wrap up. And I want Dr. Nikki to tell us, I want you to talk to that lady who's watching you right now, and she's exactly where you were. She can identify with everything that you've shared. I want you to encourage her.
So, for you who are watching and you have truly lost hope, you have no direction, you wonder, okay, what in the world what am I doing to myself? What am I doing to others? What are they doing to me? God said, wait, stop, drop, pay attention. He wants you to understand that the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one who learns how to endure. Yeah. Sometimes endurance can be very uncomfortable, but it's necessary. A lot of things I went through in life, I didn't understand, but now I know it was necessary. And I'm glad I did go through it. But at that time, like, what? Why? Is no one like me? Nobody want to be around. I've been called black hair. I've been called all kind of things. Wow. I've been picked on all my life. God said he did that because he knew you had the tough skin. He built you to last, and he knew that he could put stuff on you that no one else could tackle or even handle. So don't give up. Don't rush God. Don't rush the process. God's going to give you what you need if you just stand still and believe and have the faith of a mustard seed. That's small. Right. It's very small. And if you have just that little faith, God will do it for you if you just believe. You got to also learn how to trust and obey. Because in the midst of you trusting and obeying him, he'll begin to open up windows of heaven that you will have no room to receive. Help is on the way. Stay encouraged. Know that I love you. Know that you got this, woman of God, and the best is yet to come. You ain't seen nothing yet, girl.
Amen. 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 Hope is on the way. Guys, so you heard it. You heard it here first from Dr. Nikki as she shares such a powerful story with us tonight. I hope that you guys took notes. If you didn't get to take notes, guess what? You can come back. You can watch this again and take your notes, but make sure that you share this link with a friend. Make sure you invite your friends to come and just watch and drop some comments below, because I'm sure that Dr. Nikki will love to hear from you. So Dr. Nikki, before we go, tell us where that woman who is watching right now and she's interested in being a part of your network. Tell us where we can find that, and also tell us what is up next for you.
What's up next for me, guys?
Wow.
Yeah. So the Herpreneur Network website is www.theherpreneurnetwork.com. Of course, I am different. So I did not spell like entrepreneur. It's called Herpreneur. It's HERPRENUER network.com. And you can go there and find out more information about the network. We are looking for members for those who want to join. It is a collaboration. It is a creative and celebration kind of network. Get your good girlfriends and we hang out. We truly love one another. We are sisters for real, for real. I can tell you every herpreneur husband name. I can tell you what their kids' name. I can tell you when their birthdays are. We really are a true sisterhood. And if that's what you're looking for, please follow me on the herpreneurnetwork.com. We have a plethora of things coming up. We have I'm actually traveling to major countries this year. I'll be going this year to Tupelo, Mississippi in March. I'll be going to California. We're doing the Her Awards in those cities. We have a huge conference coming up called the Her Experience. It's myself, Cora Jakes, Michael B. Roberts, which is the billionaire. Dr. Connie Stewart is another keynote speaker. We got a fashion show going on that weekend. We got the Pink Fire Brunch. I'm giving away some presidential lifetime awards from the White House. And so it's going to be a plethora of people that's going to be in your midst in this season. That weekend is going to be April the 21st to the 23rd in Dallas, Texas. And then we're going to Destin, Florida. We got the Strong Her Retreat. I actually named the Strong Her Retreat after that song I told you about. That William Murphy had gave me to build me to go back home. It's called Stronger Than I Ever Been Before. And I named it after that song, Strong Her Retreat. And so it's gonna be a 5-day, 4-night weekday weekend in Destin, Florida, where you come in and you're being poured into from different people. And it's a lot of fun, guys. In a couple of weeks, I'm taking about 12 couples to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. My husband and I do this event together where we pour back into husband and wives that's in ministry who just need guidance on how to build a better relationship with their husband and wife. And the good thing about our retreat, we let you teach as well. So it's something you can learn. Anybody who come, teach one another, because it's something you can learn that I might not know. And that's what it's all about, collaboration. And that's what I got coming up next. I'll be going to Bowie. I'll be going to Combo. I'll be going to St. Virgin Island. I'll be going to Hawaii. I am going to a cruise in October, a business cruise with Shirley Clark and Shay Brown. And so I have a lot of stuff going on, guys. So keep me in prayers.
Definitely. Definitely, guys. Listen, go right over to the network. You can find them on Facebook. Like Dr. Nikki said, go to that website. You don't want to miss this. Phenomenal things are taking place. And guess what? There's a spot for you. So make sure you go and check it out and make sure you stay close to Dr. Nikki. I'm sure you're going to enjoy being a part of her network. So Dr. Nikki, I just want to thank you so much for sharing today and that level of transparency too as well, because most times when we hear from a pastor's wife, we tend, let's be a bit more proper, let's be a lot more correct, and all, they tend not to want to tell you the real deal. And I love that you were transparent enough so that these women who are watching can get healing and they can be encouraged and know that they too can overcome. So thank you so much, guys. If you have not done it already, go ahead, share this link with a friend, subscribe to this channel, and make sure that you leave us a comment below. And we will definitely be looking forward to seeing you on our next episode. So stay tuned for more on Battered Bruised Not Broken. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Bye.